Well, hello, everybody. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to see you guys here. And yeah, I don't even know the adjective I want to use to describe how I'm feeling right now, but while I'm trying to get it together, let me run my disclaimer, and I'll be right back. All right. Now that that's out of the way, how are you guys doing? What's going on? Tell me everything. And if you have not already liked and subscribed to my channel, if you would do that, that would be amazing. Helps me get the word out, especially with things like this, so that more people can get in contact with the lawyer that is representing this case, which is linked in the video description. I'm going to say that a bunch of times tonight because that is my goal for talking about all of this tonight, is to connect more people that, how do I want to say this, that this resonates with, to the legal team. So, wow, Aunt Mel, wait, how did StreamYard change some things? Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I appreciate it. Should we open it? Should we have the moment? I think we should. Thank you. That's so nice. I appreciate you. Kick it off with a Dr. Pepper party. We have to. It's a must. It is a must. Okay, so ASMR moment. Although the bubbles probably aren't going to be that great. I didn't bring a glass today because I ran out of time, honestly. So yeah, let's do this. Let me move my keyboard back. Okay. I mean, that wasn't too shabby. That wasn't too shabby. Thank you so much. This is actually linked in the video description. This is the lipstick. It's NYX Lipstick Lingerie. I can't read the name of the color, but I did have it linked because I went through and looked at my history. So that is linked in the video description, as well as the lashes that I'm wearing. I put lashes on for this. These are the Ardell Wispies, the Demi Wispies, the Michaela Wispies. If you know, you know. And you know I'm going to drink my Dr. Pepper. Did I mean to slurp on camera? No, I apologize for that. I thought the opening was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Thank you so much. Did I have to fight to get these lashes on? Yeah, because it's been a while since I've worn them, but you know, it felt appropriate. All right, so I've got my notes ready. I do want to give just really quickly a thank you because this today was a team effort. I did not do this on my own. I had some help. You guys know who you are. And also DC, if you're not following DC and subscribe to her channel, you should. She made a little video montage just to make it a little bit more visually interesting for everybody, thanks to the people that I'm going to mention in this video on this stream. So stay tuned. Okay. So, I mean, where to start? I guess if you've been waiting for accountability when it comes to the top of Pruvit, it sounds like it's here. The lawsuit we've all been whispering about, something that I have been talking about while respecting the survivors' privacy, not wanting to tell their story yet. I feel like this is the one that many of us have been possibly expecting. It's finally hit the courts. Allegations of harassment, and I'm going to be really careful in how I'm wording things because we're on YouTube, so just be aware of that. Allegations of specific types of harassment, workplace misconduct, and assault tied directly to Brian Underwood, the CEO of Pruvit. Now, if you're new here, my name is Erin Bees. I'm a certified personal trainer, a military veteran, full-time content creator, and I'm focused on exposing MLM's predatory marketing and unethical influencer behavior. I've spent years calling out manipulation tactics after participating and using these manipulation tactics for 13 and a half years. And my hope is that I give people the tools that they need to in order to see through the noise. And when it comes to Pruvit, I've been documenting the red flags for quite some time. In October, it'll be 2 years ago where I streamed. It was Halloween, so I was in a Cruella costume, wearing this red lipstick as well, oddly enough. That video is linked in the video description, and it also is in the end cards for this. So stay tuned for that. I streamed in a Cruella costume for Halloween and talked about what I had heard behind the scenes from alleged victims. Some people said I was reaching. Some people said I was bitter. Some people said that I was obsessed. But the people who were paying attention knew I wasn't alone. And this moment right here is confirmation, in my opinion, of everything that I have been saying. So today, we're going to break it all down. I'm going to be covering the lawsuit. I'm going to be calling out the enablers. In my opinion, they're enablers. And I'm also going to encourage throughout this to, I'm going to encourage the survivors. I was going to say victims. I want to say survivors to speak up. And I'm going to be exposing the layers of silence that protected him, in my opinion, for far too long. I'm going to present thoughts, information, and my opinion on this stream, and I encourage you to come up with your own conclusions. Everything shared in this live stream is based on public records, protected commentary, and statements from anonymous sources. This is not a witch hunt. It's a reckoning. The allegations are extremely serious, and survivors deserve to be heard without fear of retaliation. So let's get into it. Before we do, couple anniversaries, if you will. Ophelia Pupper. Okay. Puppy Lover Channel, member for 3 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being a member. And Esther, member for 11 months. You look beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for being a member. And if you'd like to join, you can click the join button or the link in the video description. I love this redemption arc, right? Also, hi, friend. Thoughts are with the victims. Your video is stuck on an ad. I would close it out and come back in and see if that helps. For 14 months, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Aunt Mel, and thank you for the Dr. Pepper Fund. It's so nice of you. Okay, so I'm going to show the complaint. Give me a second because I've got a couple things that I'm trying to manage, so bear with me. This is the complaint. I'm not showing the first page because it does have Brian's address on it. But I want to start here with breaking down what this lawsuit actually says clearly, carefully, and in plain language so that anybody can understand it. Because if you're anything like me, legal jargon is not necessarily my strong suit. So I want to make sure that it's easy for everybody to understand. This is a civil complaint, meaning it's a non-criminal lawsuit filed by a private individual seeking justice through the court system. The case was filed on July 14th, 2025 in Jefferson County Circuit Court in Kentucky. The case number, because some of you may want to write this down, is 25-CI, I believe that's CI-005547, and the judge assigned is the Honorable Sarah E. Clay. The plaintiff's name is Clarissa Jones, and the two defendants named in the suit are Pruvit Ventures, Inc., the MLM-style company that is known for selling exogenous ketones, and Brian Underwood, who at the time was Pruvit CEO and a high-profile, well, he is the CEO of Pruvit and a high-profile public figure in the company. This lawsuit isn't gossip. It isn't speculation. It's a verified public court filing that includes a number of serious claims. The core allegations, according to this complaint, Clarissa began working for Pruvit in September of 2019 at their office in Prospect, Kentucky, part of Jefferson County. From nearly the very beginning of her time there, she says that Brian Underwood engaged in repeated and inappropriate conduct towards her. This conduct wasn't just verbal. It wasn't just awkward. According to the filing, it was persistent, escalating, and directly tied to the position of power over her job and income. I'm going to describe this in a way that avoids graphic details while still honoring what's been shared in the legal documents. The complaint states that Brian approached Clarissa in Pruvit's copy room and pressed himself against her in a highly inappropriate and unwanted way. That's not an interpretation. That's a quote from a public court document. It's part of the official record. The complaint also outlines repeated patterns of inappropriate comments, pressure to send personal photos, a receipt of unrequested photos from him of her, gifts of clothing like lingerie and swimsuits, and ongoing invitations to come to his home during work hours with no business justification. When she said no, the consequences, girl, what? The consequences allegedly followed. Her pay was reduced. Her bonus structure was removed. She was demoted twice. And after one final refusal, she says she was fired on October 31st, 2024. The legal claims, the lawsuit outlines three primary claims: workplace discrimination based on sex in violation of Kentucky law, retaliation and wrongful termination after rejecting inappropriate behavior, assault in reference to specific physical actions detailed in the complaint. The plaintiff is seeking compensation for lost wages and emotional harm, attorney's fees, punitive damages meant to hold the defendants fully accountable, and a jury trial to ensure transparency in the outcome. Now, do you guys think that this will, and this is just, I don't know how I want to word this. We're just chatting here. I'm not stating this part as fact. Do you guys think that this is going to go to trial, or do you think Brian and Pruvit are going to attempt to settle this very quickly to make it go away? I think I probably know what you guys are going to say, but I'm just curious what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments. Nope, they'll settle. Yeah. He is not married. No. Yeah. Why is it so many rich people can't keep their hands to themselves? Yeah. Okay, so the case is being handled by attorney David Yates, based in Louisville, Kentucky. His contact information is included in this video's description. I have plastered the lawyer's information all over my social media just so that can get out to the people that need it. If you think that your story, your experience, could be something to take a look at, I would highly suggest that you reach out to the lawyer and David Yates and see what he has to say. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. This is just my opinion, okay? I mean, I think it's probably several people's opinion, but I'm just going to say it since we're on my platform right now. I feel like if you saw something, you should say something. I feel like it's time to say something. If you worked at Pruvit, or if you were close to leadership, or if you saw something that aligns with what's described in this lawsuit, now is the time to speak up. You may have information that could support this case that includes possibly texts or emails or screenshots, or even just personal observations of how the workplace operated. If you felt uncomfortable but didn't know how to say it back then, you can say it now. So again, the attorney's information is in the video description, and I have shared it across all platforms. Please share that information out. Please share this video out. Whether you are a survivor or a witness, please just know that your voice matters. Okay. I know this is probably kind of hard to see on your end. If anybody wants this, I'm happy to share it. Just, message me and I'll get this to you guys. Okay. And then there's the law office of David Yates information. Okay. Now, I didn't mean to put that up there, but this is what DC made. Hold on. Let me figure out which setting I want to do. I don't know why this always takes me a minute to figure out. Okay. Okay, so we covered the lawsuit. Bear with me. Why is this? Okay. Let's start here. But really quickly, final notes for that last section covering the legal case. This is not just about one individual. No. Definitely not. This is about a corporate culture. This is about silence. It's about patterns of power being abused behind closed doors, allegedly, until now. And if you've ever felt like the things you saw or experienced would never matter, this is proof that they do. This is a matter where this is a moment where truth matters more than loyalty. And also, think about who you're being loyal to. Just think about that for a second. If you're somebody that's connected to Brian Underwood, in my opinion, maybe take a look at that. This is about more than rank. This is about more than reputation. We're watching a shift happen right before our eyes. And if you've been waiting for your moment to speak, this might be it. Oh, thanks, DC. 5-second increments. You can pause with the space bar. The technical difficulties are my own. Erin is flawless as always. Definitely not. But I appreciate you so much. Does the space bar work? That brings that up. Okay. So, Brian, this guy, you love to say the truth is undefeated. So let's go there, because the truth is multiple people allegedly have come forward with serious claims against you. The truth is this didn't happen in a vacuum. The truth is the culture you created at Pruvit, in my opinion, protected you. And now the truth is catching up with you. You strutted on stage to More by Usher, acting like the closer, the rock star, the legacy builder. But let's talk about those lyrics for just a second. I'm the monster in the mirror, the headliner, the closer. That wasn't just a vibe. No. That was foreshadowing, in my opinion, because the monster in the mirror, it's not metaphorical anymore, right? Allegedly, and in my opinion. Now, let's talk about your Instagram post from July 9th. I actually need to grab this. Just one second. It showed in there, but I feel like it just needs its own time. So bear with me, because this was a lot. If I showed you all the files and files of all of this stuff, you would be shook. Let me look at one thing real quick. Okay. Let me download this. I apologize for not having this ready. Let me put it in the right place. Live reactions, July streams. Okay, and now I have to change this to a PDF. Okay. Let's remove this and let's add this. I find this post, oops, that's not the right thing. Hello. Let me just share it this way. Share screen window, this one. I find this post from July 9th extremely interesting. Waiting for approval, not my thing. Permission isn't required. Now, maybe he didn't mean it this way. Maybe, I don't know, maybe could he have been playing in our faces? Maybe. But I find it really interesting that he would post this. Permission isn't required, and the caption says, waiting for approval, not my thing. Brian, what kind of approval were you used to bypassing? Because I've heard, allegedly, of course, that you gave gifts to women. Lavish attention, opportunities, but never without strings, right? And now I have to ask, why did you settle Keisha's part of the lawsuit so quickly, but not Michael Rutherford's? Do y'all think that that's weird? Is it because Keisha had receipts that couldn't be buried? What's on those receipts, Brian, if that's the case? Let's also talk about your social media. Where did all the women go? Because I remember there were lots of pictures with you and Pruvit promoters that were women, and now all you see are some of the guys and posts of you and Jesse Lee. You used to post tons of photos with top female earners. You used to highlight women constantly, and now it's all been what appears to be scrubbed. I don't know that that's a coincidence. What do you guys think? I don't know. So anyways, you still have photos up with Michael Rutherford all the way back to the first company. What was the name of the first company? Do y'all remember? Was it iZig? Is that the name of it? All the women left. It's a very, very good point. Very good point. But somehow the women vanished on his social media platform, which I find interesting. I wonder why that might be. I guess that's what I'm trying to say here. You don't just usually delete things. Actually, let me take that back. Brian doesn't usually delete things on his social media. That's part of his brand, right? Radical transparency. So I'm just curious what changed. And let's talk about the audacity to show up at an Herbalife event and speak like nothing's wrong while these are active allegations of harassment and misconduct against you. You didn't walk in as the rock star this time, did you? You walked in as the small fish in a big pond. And honestly, for me, if you guys were a part of Pruvit, when I was a part of Pruvit, do y'all remember when Visalis came over and we were all at the Palace in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was this big thing, and then all of a sudden, Blake Mallon, Nick Sarnicola, which, by the way, where's Nick? Weird. Anyways, Blake Mallon, Nick Sarnicola, and Brian Underwood were all on stage, and they were bringing over the people from Visalis. This Herbalife event that we all watched on social media is giving Visalis energy, because this is exactly how the Visalis crew was treated when they first came to Pruvit. There were people that made fun of those people that were from Visalis for clout chasing, riding coattails, and now look at you, Brian. Small fish, big pond, right? You've made your entire career off of performance and charisma. You built a brand around discipline and drive and whatever the champion mindset nonsense was supposed to be. But here's the thing. None of that means anything when the foundation was rot. You spent years collecting followers, and now I wonder if you're going to be collecting lawsuits, in my opinion, of course. And by the way, Brian, if the truth is undefeated, you might want to start preparing for a losing streak, because I think it's coming, my guy. So that was his post. Yeah, you remember that? Wild. I would love to see the Herbalife video showing little man. Yeah. The snark Reddits had a field day with the Pruvit versus Herbalife comparisons. Indeed, they did. Okay. Shall we talk about Michael Rutherford? Because I would like to, if you guys are cool with it. In case you didn't know, I mean, obviously we're reaching the point where we're going to be talking about some of the people that I believe are enablers to Brian's behavior. And I think that Michael Rutherford is one of the biggest ones. Not the main one. I mean, at least not anymore, right, Mikey, little fella. Anyways, Michael. Oh, man. If you're truly on a spiritual journey, this is your moment to live your faith, not market it. You recently posted a soft launch of Michael 2.0. In fact, let me just show you guys that. I had this idea of how I was going to go about doing all of this stuff. And as I'm sitting here with you guys right now, it's kind of going out the window. So just bear with me, because I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go down. Okay, let's Where did that go? Hello? Give me 1 second. Why is this zooming in on his face? Okay. Have you guys liked the stream yet? Subscribed? Let me know. July streams. Okay. All right. Let's open this up. Okay, that didn't work. Well, why is that not work? Oh, there. No, that's not it. Okay, anyways. I digress. He put a post up and it says Michael 2.0. And I find it interesting where he said in the post that he was learning about God. And in the very last line of that post, let me play this video so at least you have something fun to look at. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Spent my entire life doing things my way. The worst part is I got good at it and became wildly successful by most people's standards, certainly to my standards. I took the credit or gave the credit to my team, but I never gave it to God. Now, by the way, this is not me coming at Christianity. I'll explain that here shortly, but I want to be clear about that. I gave credit to other men for developing my talents and treasure, singular, and gifts instead of thanking God who actually gave them to me. I thought the burning desire in me to be successful was positive and powerful. Turns out it was a God-sized hole I developed since childhood that I spent my entire life trying to get validation from other men / the world. The worst part, I was successful at it. I got a lot of that validation. It became an ever-increasing hole that got bigger as I achieved more and more. Here's the second part. Okay. When I was broke. Are you not broke now? I don't understand. I thought $10,000 a month would change my life, and it did for a few months, but eventually 10,000 or 10K doesn't get it done, and 50K a month doesn't get it done, all the way to 300K a month. The hole got larger and impossible to fill. God knew I was on a hamster wheel. I couldn't get off, and he just watched, likely shaking his head. Here I was, one of the children he's blessed with talent, desire, and capability to grow his kingdom, and I used those gifts to grow mine instead. So the last 2 years, all the things I idolized and received fake validation from started disappearing. Okay. My business went to zero. Okay. My income went to zero. My fans and followers went to zero. The international stages I spoke on, all to zero. The people reaching out. Let's see what the next slide says. Let's see. I think this was the first part. That's okay. Let's keep it moving. 6 weeks ago, I had a radical encounter with the Holy Spirit. I realized, this is the beginning. I realized I couldn't do this by myself any longer. My plans, my strategies, my efforts, my commitments just weren't working anymore. Everything I treasured other than my 4 kids had been stripped away, taken, stolen, or just walked out. I wonder who he's referring to there. Could it be Keisha? Possibly. We'll talk about that shortly. I felt alone and broken, like I couldn't go on any longer. In my back bathroom of my RV, I fell to my knees and cried to God for a solid 15 minutes. And all I could say was, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And covered in tears, snot, and defeat, he rescued me. I felt a hand on my shoulder and a whisper in my ear saying, it's going to be okay. And again, this is not me making fun of Christianity, just to be clear. Immediately feeling loved and protected, I stood up and went in the other room and hugged my kids and told them I loved them and that everything was going to be okay. 72 hours later, I got baptized, to which he filmed and posted it, and laid every burden in my life at Jesus's feet. Picture handling all of your problems and burdens and setting them on the cross Jesus defeated. That's what I did. Fast forward a month. I started praying with each of my 4 kids before bed. The first week was just me laying my hands on their little bodies during bedtime routine and thanking God for each of them and the talents and treasures God put in them, and speaking it into existence and declaring what I pray they become. Now they're joining in, and just last night, my 7-year-old asked Dad, are we going to say our prayers? I think that's what it says. Hang on just one second. Are we going to say our prayers? Something told me to audio record it. What? And I'm glad I did. With tears pouring down my face, I felt the heart of a little boy becoming an honorable, mighty young man of God. I heard a long time ago, most things are caught, not taught. Now I know what that means. Thanks for reading this long post. It means a lot to me. Okay. The last line of this post, even though it got a little jumbled, my apologies, was him writing that he hopes others are learning something too. Learning what exactly? Because from what I can see, you haven't acknowledged the harm that you have allegedly caused. You haven't addressed your role in the culture of Pruvit, which is going to be the theme on the next individuals that I show here. You haven't said a word about the lawsuit that's still active, the one Brian didn't settle. Well, yours. He settled with your ex-fiance, it sounds like. So what is it that people are supposed to be learning from you? Because spirituality is not a PR campaign. It's not a detox. It's not a distraction. And it's definitely not a shield from accountability. You helped build the hype machine at Pruvit. You helped push the legacy talk, the champion mindset, the if I can do it, you can do it, standing on stage. You were the one saying, hey, we're different over here. I don't know, just get the ketones down their esophagus, trying to make it seem like it was super easy. And the whole time you had a special deal, allegedly, actually not even allegedly, according to your first lawsuit with Brian Underwood or against Brian Underwood and Pruvit. You had a special side deal with him so that he would promote you. And then he had to get a certain percentage of your downline check. But you stood on stage and said, if I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, but that wasn't the truth, was it? When it came time for you to take responsibility, you disappeared into platitudes. And again, where's Keisha? Because it appears that she's wiped every photo of you off of her social media. I wonder why that might be. And yet, it was her part of the lawsuit that Brian did settle quickly. Now, why is that? Is it because she had documentation that couldn't be buried? Is it because the truth was too detailed to deny? Is it because from the outside it looks like you're rebranding while hoping we all forget? It looks like you're presenting yourself as evolved and awakened, and I truly do hope that that is the case, but you're skipping the part where you actually admit what went wrong and what was your participation in it. And let me be clear, this isn't an attack on faith. I know I've said that multiple times. It's not. Believe what you want to believe. All beliefs or lack thereof are welcome here, and they always will be. This is a call out on how Michael is using faith, because turning to God while skipping over the truth, that's not redemption, that's performative. So if you want people to learn something from you, Michael, maybe start with honesty, start with actual transparency, start with the part where you hold yourself accountable, because right now you're not teaching, you're just hiding behind a brand new filter and a rebrand. Oh, man. Yeah, sounds a lot like Rob Dbor. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to Rob. Yeah. But first, I want to talk about Katie Rollins. Now, Katie, I know you're going to see this. Hope you're doing well. Genuinely. You had plenty to say about me on Reddit when I did the Cruella video, which is fine, you know. But the only thing you publicly denied from that Cruella video that's linked to this one was the Gucci belt. You didn't deny the other behavior. You didn't address the real allegations. You just went after the accessories. So I'll ask again. Did Brian ever buy you anything else? Because the pattern that I've heard from survivors is that those gifts didn't just come from kindness. They came with certain unwritten, unspoken expectations. Allegedly, of course. You also made a comment hoping that I had a good therapist for the trauma that Pruvit caused me, which is interesting because if nothing happened, if everything at Pruvit was totally fine and professional, as you made it sound in the subreddit, then why would I need a therapist? Why would there be trauma to unpack if everything was fine and there was nothing wrong with Pruvit and everything was on the level? Why would I need a therapist? Speaking of Reddit, my favorite part about what Katie Rollins did was when she threatened to track people's IP addresses in that subreddit. People that were posting, asking questions, and not a fan of Pruvit and what Pruvit stands for. Now, why? If none of that was true, and Katie, you may want to write this down. If none of this was true, then why try to silence the conversation? And here's what really stood out. While a group of us were actively working on this investigation, shout out to you guys, you know who you are, and I appreciate you, reviewing receipts, cross-checking timelines, we watched you in real time deleting posts, privating stories, scrubbing content. We watched it. We were literally watching you as you tried to wipe things clean. That's weird, right? If none of any of this was true, if you really had nothing to hide, Katie, then why the cleanup? Because I don't think that's how innocent people react. Do you guys think that that's how innocent people react? Because I find it suspicious. Look at the corporate office. Yeah. I find it.
Hey, what's up? Katie Rollins here. If you're watching this video, that means that you are trying to figure out what the hell it is I do for work. You see me online. You see me sharing my life. You see me sharing things that I love. You see me sharing my family. You see me sharing my thoughts, opinions on things. And you're like, okay, what does that actually mean? How does that pertain to you making money? Well, let me explain. So I partnered with a company that created the only patent protected therapeutic formula of ketones in existence. They are therapeutic ketones. I share my love for them. I help other people experience the benefits of them. Everyone loves them because basically they help all people. They give you better sleep. They give you better energy. You get tons of mental clarity, tons of focus. Your mood is like night and day different. My entire life got better. I used to actually think everyone else was the problem. Turns out it was my attitude.
Wow. Was that a Freudian slip? Interesting. I wonder if she still thinks that everybody else is the problem.
Ketones help everyone. You'll sleep better. If you're someone that loves to work out, they're incredible for muscle preservation. Fact of the matter is, when I started drinking them and loving them, they were completely impacting my life, and everyone in my life noticed. And I recognized that this was something I can share with other people. I can help other people like they were helping me, and it can help me make some money for bills.
Katie, did you forget that you didn't delete this one? Amongst all the other pictures that I've already shown, and there's plenty more where that comes from, let me tell you. So keep scrubbing your social media.
It could help me make some money for groceries. It could help me make some money for sports for my son. Maybe down the road, it can help me get out of the job that I didn't want anymore. Maybe down the road, it could help me have a big savings account. Like, there were so many things that started to go through my mind, and I was like, it's a win-win for me. At worst, I just drink these and feel amazing and can get them for free. So that is what I do, and that is what I teach other people how to do, what to do. And how I do that is basically on social media. There is a lot of, when I get to know people in person, we're working closer together in person, but initially I connect with majority of people on social media to give them information about ketones, to give them information about what it is that I do. This is something that I had a very misunderstanding about. In direct sales, I didn't really understand what it was. I thought it was one of these things that you had to like sign up yourself, then go and find 5 people to sign up with you and 5 people to sign up with them. Like, I genuinely...
That's pretty much what you guys do and Pruvit, and any other MLM company for that matter. That's exactly what happens. And that's why, do you guys remember when Nick Martinez would do the life raft example? You're on a life raft, or you only have 3 life preservers. That's what it was. You only have 3 life preservers. Who are you going to give them to? Who are the 3 people you're going to give them to? And he was trying to make it sound like drinking ketones from Pruvit was a life jacket. You only had 3, and then those are the 3 people that you go and you contact and you talk about Pruvit's ketones, as if a life jacket and Pruvit's ketones are the same. Do y'all remember that? So it's really interesting that Katie is saying, oh, well, this is not, I thought direct sales was this. That's not what this is, but this is the very thing that they teach and have taught in the past based on my experience.
Had a complete misunderstanding of what this entire industry was. It is direct selling something that you love to other people. There are people in my organization who are doing better than me. There are people in the organization I'm in.
In what way? Because they got out of the commercial cult, and I do believe Pruvit is a commercial cult. I do believe MLM companies, in my opinion, to be commercial cults. So are they doing better than you because they got away from it? Because I would agree with you on that.
That I'm beast moding what they're doing. Like,
beast moding. That was my hashtag when I was in Pruvit. In case you didn't know, that's why my Instagram is still the real beast mode, because I can't change it. That's so funny that she said that.
It's so funny because it's the most obvious thing that makes sense to me compared to every job I ever had out in the real world, where the janitor was never like out earning the manager. But here it's like, it's unlimited potential for anyone. And for me, it made sense. My background,
not the false equivalence fallacy. I love that for us, not so much for you, Katie.
Is I actually was a waitress. I was a bartender. I was a cashier. I was a babysitter. I worked in office departments, helping them kind of put things together that made more sense. I worked in retail. Like, I have a laundry list of previous life experiences in occupations that I didn't realize were actually setting me up to be able to step into this and wholeheartedly be excited about it and share it, right? So cool thing about this is that in my years of being here and doing this with other people, I have not just learned a ton on social media on how to do it, I've also really, really learned how to lead other people to do the same thing. So as I have people who are looking at this and they're like,
why am I rolling my eyes? Because she was notorious when she was actually leading people in Pruvit. She wanted you to do well, but not better than her. Oh, yeah. Take off and do this on social media, but don't do it better than her. Because if you were doing better than her, then she was going to redirect you. Allegedly, of course.
I mean, I love these. I could share them too, I think, or I already know people that are asking me about this, or I love these. What can I do with this? Because I got bills, I've got goals, I've got dreams. Like, what I've been able to do here is not just create a system that helps people jump right in and plug right in and start making money right away doing it, but I've also been able to teach them these tips, these tricks, these things that literally took me like 6 years of learning before I even found these. And
okay. And you learned that when you were in Beachbody?
I kind of help people skip that, right? So let me explain a little bit more about what this looks like. When you are a promoter that is sharing ketones in our organization, we literally have ketones because we're drinking them, right? And then what we also do is we
literally have ketones because we're drinking them. Tell me it's a personal consumption model without telling me. I mean, we know that, right? We know that, but I found that interesting.
Share something called trial packs with people. My trial packs are things that I offer to people so they can get a bunch of different flavors of ketones to try. I mail them to them. They send me money for that. It's an exchange. And then when they get them, start drinking them, start feeling like, holy hell, I feel amazing. Oh my God, didn't snap at my husband today. I folded laundry today. That's the first time.
Therapy, Katie. I mean, you were so quick to suggest that you hope that I have a good therapist. I hope the same for you. Yeah. Therapy. We stand therapy on this channel.
In 3 months, I voluntarily did that. I was at work and I was not thinking about food all day long like I normally do, because ketones are amazing for cravings. They are amazing for sugar cravings. Trust me, that compulsive wanting to snack is gone when you start drinking ketones. It's literally crazy. You will see. You will see. If you get anything from this entire video, please, by the end of it, at least comment trial below so I can hook you up with how to get a trial pack from me, because they're going to blow your mind. But the thing about this is that when people get these from us in these trial packs, or maybe they just jump right in with an order from our website, they immediately start loving them. They start feeling those benefits, just like I was talking about. And our customer retention is insane. Okay. People go absolutely insane for these. We always have different fun flavors that drop. We'll have promotions or sales. Like, people go absolutely bananas.
Oh, you mean the dollars and, well, the money that people drop that allegedly in the past members of the production team would pick up? Because yikes. Allegedly, of course.
As they crash our website, it's mayhem on these days.
Tell us why they crashed the website. Oh, is it because Pruvit was too cheap to actually, get a website that can keep up with the volume? I feel like that was intentional. Wasn't it? I don't remember what the website was, but yeah, we crashed the website. Yeah, that's because they don't want to pay for a server that can support the volume back at that time.
And it's super fun. And as someone, like I said, who has kind of done everything under the sun, I've never had an experience like this before where I've been able to work beside people who are inspired, people who just sounds cheesy, but they have a zest for freaking life. We enjoy sharing things with other people that can best serve them, help them become better.
You know what? You can share things that you love without being part of an MLM company. It's really that simple.
At my desk job, I was not helping people become better using my spreadsheets. I was not helping people become better serving them meatloaf at the restaurant, but what I was impacting their day. And to me, that was a huge thing. So if you are someone that is about bringing joy, bringing impact, bringing better to other people, as well as being able to see income from that after the time, after the energy, after the effort, after the consistency, after learning, you're going to be a student, you're going to learn how to do this, just like we all go through that part. You can't skip it, but it's like any new job. You don't know what you don't know until someone trains you. And the cool thing about this is you come in, you
don't know what you don't know. That's another Brian catchphrase. You don't know what you don't know. Right, Brian, because we don't know. What
popped right into our system that's super, super efficient, and you learn all these things along the way, but you have me right beside you to do it with you. So the trial packs I was talking about, the way that people come into the business is they get one of the promoter packs. We've got two different options right now. There's a 3-box bundle. There's a 12-box bundle. Depending on when this video is, that's what we have at the moment. It may have shifted a little bit. You have a one-time membership fee that covers you for the year of being a promoter. And there's no monthly fee. There's no monthly quotas or anything funky like that. But you come in, we're going to teach you everything that you're going to do. You're going to have tons of different websites that you're going to be able to utilize through our company. Tons of different sales funnels, which are super cool. A crap ton of resources. So you do not need to explain how these work. I always joke around, but I'm not joking. I've been with this company for 4 years and I still can't actually explain how they work. I know when I just drink them, I feel incredible.
Yeah. You know why nobody can explain how they work? Because it's a proprietary blend and the ingredients have not been studied. There's no third-party, independent, peer-reviewed studies on Pruvit's ketones. So technically, nobody can say how it works because there's not enough studies. There's not any studies on that product.
And you're going to come in and we're going to be excited for you and we're going to show you what to do. And during that time, not only are you going to start feeling better by drinking ketones every day, you're really, really going to tap into what it feels like to be in an environment and a community of people.
That's a commercial cult? Oh, wait, she's not going to say that. Silly me.
That genuinely want better for you. We have a lot of fun. We have fun events. Everything's virtual at the moment. We do have face-to-face things, but it's not like large scale like it was, but we're working on a couple things. We're doing the best we can. Pandemic.
Definitely not as big as they were, which I love for us. I love the events being so small. I also recall after the Panini, Brian saying that he would never do virtual events, and I've watched them do virtual events since then, probably because it's a little bit more cost effective, right? Because revenue's down. Love that for you, Brian. Love that. I missed a bunch of, let's just take a break here for a moment. I missed some anniversaries. I think I got Aunt Mel. Ginger, member for 22 months. Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Lushy, 39 months. Speaking out helps a victim become a survivor and helps those who can't speak out also become survivors. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. And we have a new member. And on my channel, when we have a new member, what do? We do the shoulder smolder that has been named by our fabulous DC. Welcome, Casey8413. Appreciate you so much. Jamie, member for 24 months. Zest for life. I'm laughing because that's the code phrase we used for dogs that were super high energy at the animal shelter, but we made it positive. Oh my God. Thank you for being a member for 24 months. And Alexis, member for 19 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. What a wild ride this has been. How's everybody doing? Just want to do a quick little check-in. Let me know how everybody is feeling. Unfortunately, Jelly Snack Pruvit is still around, but hopefully not for long. That would be great. All right, let's see what else. Which setting did I do? I think it was, we'll just do this one, maybe.
But the reality is that it is a family. It's a community that I didn't even know I needed. And this industry, I'm so incredibly grateful for. It is a business in a box. And if this is something that's appealing to you, please comment below with info and I'll reach out to you. If you were just like, what the hell, I got to try these ketones. I've got different options for that too. You can get 3-pack, 5-pack, 10-pack, 20-pack. All of these different ways will get ketones in your hands. You can try them out, make decisions after that. And I'm super excited for you. So let me know below where you fall on there. And if this is not something that you're like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm excited I got the info, but I know someone that could probably benefit from either the partnership in it, ketones, please pass this over to them, tag them in the comments below. And I'd love to be in touch. See ya.
So, Katie. So that was Katie. That was one of the videos that she didn't scrub while we were downloading and screenshotting everything. I found that really interesting. Next, we're going to talk about Kendra McMurphy. Now, Kendra, you left multiple comments on one of my videos earlier this year, comments that were long, emotionally charged, and oddly flagged by YouTube. They came from a new account that you just created, and that's interesting because on the surface, it really did look like, at least I was hoping that would be the case. It really did look like you were ready to speak up. You said you had thoughts. You hinted at behind the scenes truths. You even offered to go live with me and tell your side of the story. But the deeper we got into the exchange, the more it felt like narrative control, not accountability. It felt like you weren't trying to share the truth. And here's some of the comments. I'll read that in just a moment. It felt like you weren't trying to share the truth. You were trying to manage how it was told. And let's be honest, if you truly want to speak out, you wouldn't be doing it from a brand new YouTube account. You wouldn't be leaving essay-length comments like this that appear or disappear, or get flagged. You wouldn't be filtering your message through somebody else's channel. Kendra, you have your own platform. Oh, wait, did you delete your entire Facebook, one of your many accounts? I think you did. But anyways, you built that platform. So if you have something to say it there. Make it right over there. Because waiting until it's safe or convenient or curated enough to preserve your image doesn't help the people who were hurt. It just helps the ones who kept them quiet. You were close enough to the inner circle to know how things worked. And you know that I know. We'll just say that. You saw the control, you saw the favoritism, you saw the culture. And if you truly want to break from it, if you want to show that you're no longer aligned with that system, you need to speak clearly and publicly, not filtered, not vague, and not through somebody else's or on somebody else's platform. Speak your truth on your platform, because silence now, it only protects the people who never protected you. Let's look at this comment. This is where it started. This is a screenshot when it went up, and it says, oh wait, no, this is one of the older ones, but this is the second message. I am more parts ready to listen than I am to speak. But her first comment said, I'm ready to speak. I'm ready to speak out, which is why I like watching your videos. You're always welcome to watch my videos, and seeing how absolutely devastating this has been to specifically moms and their children. I think those who emotionally drive to protect and provide were roped into this industry. And you're not wrong, Kendra. You're not wrong. I think given your experience and what you have sifted and sorted through, you are in a position to ask the questions that will continue to bring true light, to an industry that has absolutely destroyed so many lives. my own included, being in a position of watching it all fall with little to no options other than to jump ship or start a new deal or build a bridge, and recognizing that this just wasn't something I could get behind or even do. I didn't want any part in the continuation. Getting out, I'm laughing because how this conversation changed and her real intentions showed, in my opinion, because she wasn't getting what she wanted from me. Getting out has been an actual nightmare. And if any of the words I can speak on of and about my experience can release someone else from any sort of imprisonment and or keep them from going through an experience like this in the future, I'm here and very open to sharing with you specifically. Share on your own platform, Kendra. I could keep word vomiting, but the truth is, all I have left is the truth. It's ugly and painful and super tendy. I'd love to connect you and I first, if you'd be open to that. I'd like to avoid trauma dumping on the internet, which is what might happen if we jump in full throttle. I'd say LOL now, but it's really not funny, yet the tragic humor is the only thing probably keeping my head above actual water. Okay, what bothers me more than anything that I'd like to speak on is I'm going to say relations talk. There was absolutely a lot of flirting and silly stuff. Oh, really? Silly stuff, Kendra. Okay. And I even hooked up with someone in the company. Okay. At one point. But that was two consenting adults, period. I was never invited or included or invited anyone else to do anything other than what I truly thought was an advantage in the company by being close to Brian, who seemed to know how to make it in the industry. Okay. All right. I'm also wondering if this is all on the same video. This is all, you know what I'm saying? I'm also wondering if you'd be willing to help start looking for ways to actually help the people we hurt get out of the situation that they're in. Why? Because you wanted me to help you find a way out of the situation you created, Kendra? And two things can be true at once. Kendra can be a victim in all of this, and she can also be, perpetuating the problem at the same time. It's one thing to bring awareness, which you have clearly done and succeeded at, but at which point do you become the bully to the very people you are pointing out need help? Is it truly your intention to help? See, now you're questioning my intentions on my platform. Notice how she kicks it up a notch because she's not getting what she wants. I'm not, jumping into, okay, yeah, let's go live. Let me platform you. No, this is my platform. This is my platform. You have your own platform. For you to be this unhinged and this upset because you're not getting your way tells me everything that I need to know about this. Is it truly your intention to help? What I'm saying is what we all still have to survive, and while I do agree awareness, acceptance, responsibility, and social change are important components of this, you still have people frozen in fear and stuck without knowing what to do next. I'd love to put our heads together and start requesting these companies don't just get out and continue hiding behind legal red tape, but actually help people who have lost their homes, their ability to support themselves and their families. There needs to be some sort of actual assistance for surviving members making their exits from the industry in place of further emotionally degrading and damaging them publicly. Is what you're doing no better than they? Okay, so it is bizarre, Savannah. It is. First, she says, I want to speak out. And I'm like, great, let's start here. Tell us what you would like to share in the comments. Then it was, well, I don't really want to speak out. I'm just really more wanting to listen. We can go live together and you can ask me questions. But then, she's questioning my intentions. Then it's like, aren't you a bully too? Kendra, it's okay to just say, hey, I'm getting pissed off because I'm not getting what I want. Okay, take that on your own platform and make things right. Weird. I'd love to put our heads together, please. Girl, what? Oh my God. Where was I on this? I'm only saying this because I do believe you have the ability to step back and ask even yourself questions that I can actually create real change. I don't need your advice, and I quite frankly do not care what you think of me, Kendra. Not one bit. Not at all. Really strange, yeah. I'm also wondering if you'd be, it continues. I'm also wondering if you'd be willing to help start looking for ways to actually help the people we hurt get out of the situation that they're in. Kendra, do you not think that I have been helping the people that I have hurt in the past? Are you new here? Wild. The people we hurt get out of the situation that they're in. I feel like she's asking this because she wants me to solve her problems. That's what it sounds like to me. It's one thing to bring awareness, which you have clearly done. Did I already read this? Yeah, okay. Sorry. I already read that. Wild. Okay. Let's talk about Rob Dbor. Did you guys see his post? Her team calls were like this? Well, that makes a lot of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Yeah, so she wants you to put all of her stuff on your platform and never have your own ideas. Yeah, very strange. The call is indeed coming from inside the house. Yeah. Oh, I missed a super chat. Julio 70, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Sam, welcome. So glad you're here. Did I do shoulders today at the gym? I did. Sure did. For your Dr. Pepper fun, so you can keep rocking. I appreciate you so much. Y'all are amazing. All right, let's talk about Rob. Rob, you were part of the inner circle. Not just close to Brian, aligned with him for years. You shared the stage, the branding, the messaging. You were seen as a voice of authority, of leadership, of influence. And now this is what you show. Hold on, let me see if I have this prepared. This is his post. In lieu of the recent lawsuit and potentially more news to come, is Netflix interested in a Pruvit documentary? Asking for a friend. I don't know, Rob, but I already messaged some Netflix producers yesterday, so they may even be watching. Hey guys, how you doing? So this is what he posted. Rob, this isn't a punchline. These are allegations of workplace misconduct, harassment, and assault. And this is not just more news to come. This is deeply serious, and joking about a documentary in this context is not just tone deaf, it's harmful. One of your top comments on this post asked something extremely reasonable. Hey, Rob, weren't you close to Brian? I'm confused by this post. And instead of answering that publicly, you told her she was triggered and invited her to DM for clarity. Now, I remember him doing the same thing to me the first time that I covered him. Remember that whole voice message that I played on one of the videos that I was talking about his tactics and such? And he said, you can call me that guy. Do y'all remember that? I said it with his entire chest. And I was like, oh my God. And then when I wouldn't engage with him, he blocked me. Yeah, because he couldn't control the narrative. Are you guys noticing a pattern here from some of the people that I believe to be enablers of Brian's behavior? And again, that is just my opinion, but I'm noticing a pattern when they can't control the narrative. They lash out, attack my character, attack my intentions, or they block me, which is fine. Block me. I could care less. But, you posted this publicly, but you want clarification to happen privately. Why? Why try to shift the conversation out of public view? That feels like an attempt to control the narrative, much like Kendra, I believe, was trying to do. And when people are seeking truth, not performance, that behavior raises some red flags, as it should. So let's just ask the obvious. Brian, were you close to Brian or not? Because if you were, as it certainly appeared, you likely saw or heard things that others didn't, right? And if that's the case and you chose to stay silent, that's not leadership, that's self-preservation. If you weren't close, why spend years presenting yourself as if you were? Why claim access, trust, and insider knowledge only to walk it back now? Even more confusing, in your I left Prove It videos that I've covered on this channel, you didn't mention any of this. None of it. You talked about Brian using the Prove It name without approval, essentially, about merch ideas, and about how the 60-hour reboot was a made-up number that sounded good to you that you tested with people in your private Facebook group. But nothing about this. No mention of toxic culture. No warning to your team, no heads up that something serious was going on behind the scenes. And yet now you're using this lawsuit as an I told you so moment. That doesn't track. If you had concerns before, why didn't you say something then? Why wait until survivors step forward to speak and then pivot the story to yourself? This is not about attacking you. This is about accountability. This is about your platform, your past alignment, and your present responsibility. Because when people are hurt and you've been in proximity to the power structures that protected the harm, in my opinion, you don't get to sit on the sidelines and throw sarcastic commentary into the mix because it's good for the algorithm. You were part of this, in my opinion. You helped shape the culture at Prove It, whether you meant to or not. And now if you truly care about the people who you impacted, you have an opportunity to use your voice to support them, not mock the moment and make it a joke. If you know something, and I believe you do, Rob, I believe that you know a lot of somethings. Yeah, now is the time to say it publicly, clearly, and without emoji-laced distractions. Good God, that part. Yeah, this book is incredible. If you have not already read it, you should. All right, let's see what else we have from Rob. Okay, that was it. More to come on Rob, apparently. Dustin Schaefer. Dustin. Dustin, you built your brand kind of on this biohacking, elite performance, and unlocking human potential kind of thing. You called yourself a coach, a leader, a wellness professional, but if you stayed silent while harm was happening inside the organization that you helped grow, what exactly were you coaching people towards? Because wellness is more than ketones. It's more than macros, more than metabolic flexibility, more than whatever optimization language was trending that month. Wellness includes ethics. Wellness includes emotional safety. Wellness includes standing up when people are being hurt. And if you were in the room, if you saw the behavior, heard the rumors, or witnessed the culture firsthand, which in my opinion, I do believe you did, your silence is part of the problem. You had influence. You had access. You had a microphone. And while Brian was building in my opinion, cult of personality, you helped sell the science that kept people bought in. So now what do you stand for? What do you stand for now? Because if your version of wellness means ignoring abuse as long as the commissions are flowing, then your hacks don't mean much, do they? They don't mean much at all. It doesn't matter how optimized your morning routine is if you're morally asleep the rest of the day. You want to be a leader in the wellness space, start with accountability and start with honesty, which is the pattern of tonight's, or the theme, if you will, of tonight's live stream. Start by acknowledging the role that you played in building and protecting a system that has hurt people. You can't biohack your way out of this. You can't ice bath the truth. You can't fast through accountability because people were harmed. And silence now only confirms that you were never the coach that you claimed to be. Nick Martinez. Do y'all know Nick Martinez? Yeah. Now, did I mention all of the people that I feel like have enabled, or will I be mentioning all of the people that I believe have enabled Brian over the years? No, because honestly, that would take forever. Are there other people? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely there is. But let's talk about Nick Martinez real quick. Now, Nick, You were one of the loudest voices in the room. You pushed the prove it vision harder than almost anyone. After Michael Rutherford, you kind of became the face of Prove It in a sense. You weren't just selling ketones, you were selling belief, culture, identity. You were the legacy guy, right? The we're different guy, the level up your life guy. But here's the thing, what exactly were you defending? Because now that we're looking back through the lens of what's being exposed, that culture you hyped, it doesn't look inspiring anymore, does it? No, it looks like distraction. It looks like insulation. It it looks, I don't even know. I'm at a loss of words actually. You helped push a mindset that said ignore the critics, silence the skeptics, don't ask questions, just trust the vision. That kind of thinking doesn't just create loyalty, it creates silence. It creates fear. It creates the perfect conditions for harm to go unchecked. And now that serious allegations have surfaced, allegations tied to the very top of the organization that you helped glorify, where do you stand? Excuse me. Because if you're still loyal to the brand today, if you're still pushing the same mindset, the same products, the same playbook, you need to take a hard look in the mirror and ask why. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. You helped shape a system that is now being publicly challenged for failing the very people it claimed to empower. You helped build the pedestal. And when the pedestal starts to crack, real leaders don't just jump to the next product or rebrand or whatever. They acknowledge the damage and they help clean it up. So, Nick, you say that you're about legacy. Let's see what kind of legacy you actually leave. Let's talk about Herbal Life. Because if you didn't know, there was an event this weekend. I know. Oh, thanks so much, Crochet Lover. I appreciate you. They had an event this weekend. Herbalife did, and all the Prove It people were there, and the subreddit has been really interesting with some of the things that they have posted, and it was reminding me of the late nights, the being there early for the champ meetings, staying all day for the event, the debrief in the champ room, the debrief with the Empire. It was absolutely ridiculous. The late nights, the no sleep, the lack of food, the drinking a large quantity of ketones, the exhaustion, the just keep grinding, guys. And my favorite was when Brian, and this is sarcasm, by the way, my favorite was when Brian said, I don't know when we're going to be done. We'll be done when the outcome was met or is met. Nobody ever knew what the outcome was because the goalposts always changed. To me, looking back at those Prove It events, it was always about control. It was always, how far can I push these people? How far can I push them to make sure that they are loyal to us and to Brian? That's what I feel like they were about. But you guys let me know in the comments. I do believe he's the new president of Prove It. Yes. Yep. So culty been there. Yeah. I think that's a good point. Let's talk about that, shall we? Now, Herbalife, you acquired Prove It. You absorbed their leadership, their branding, and now it seems their baggage. And here we are, a civil lawsuit with allegations of harassment, workplace misconduct, and assault tied to Brian Underwood, the man you gave a mic to this weekend, the man that you gave the stage to this weekend, and a new platform. You didn't just acquire a product line, you acquired a sketchy, in my opinion, legacy. And part of that legacy includes a culture that enabled this behavior for years. And this weekend, again, there was an Herbalife event where Brian Underwood got on stage and protocol was being discussed as if nothing was happening. This civil lawsuit was filed on the 14th of July. You're really going to platform somebody actively facing these kinds of allegations? You're going to give him visibility while a case like this is unfolding? What message does that send to the survivors of similar things in your own organization, to women across the distributor base, to anybody watching this from outside who expected better? This isn't just about Brian. It's about every layer of silence and loyalty that insulated him and enabled him. And now that silence has transferred to you, in my opinion. You can't rebrand your way out of this. You can't NDA your way out of this, although I'm sure Brian has tried. in my opinion. You can't just slap a new logo over a broken foundation and pretend, that it's stable. When you brought Pruvit under your umbrella, you didn't just absorb their hype, you absorbed their accountability. So Herbalife, if you claim to care about integrity and leadership, you need to show that. Now, I know, guys, I'm asking for an MLM company that has been riddled with lawsuits over the years to actually do the right thing. Do I think that that will happen? No, but we're going to talk about it here on my channel. Because platforming Brian Underwood right now, that doesn't look like leadership. That looks like complicity. Yikes. Good night, Sam. So let's see. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Now, this says to the victims, but I want to correct this and say to the survivors, to the people who were harmed, to the people who were manipulated, coerced, silenced, or made to feel like they were crazy. You're not alone. You are not exaggerating. You are not weak for being affected. You are strong for surviving it. If you've been sitting with your story, unsure if it matters, unsure if anyone would believe you, I want you to know it does matter. You matter, and I believe you. It takes courage to speak up, especially when the person in power is protected by money, status, or an army of enablers, as I believe the people that I have covered tonight are. Is it all of the enablers? No, but there's only so much time in the day, especially when your pain is treated like gossip, especially when the people who saw it happen pretend that they didn't. But that courage, it's contagious. Because every time someone tells the truth, it gives somebody else permission to stop carrying the weight alone. I know it may not feel safe yet. I know you may not be ready, and that's okay. But please know there is a community here. I've talked about it for a long time. There are people listening. There are people in this chat right now listening. There are people who do believe you, even if the people who should have protected you never did. Brian is not as powerful as he once was, and I love that for him. His empire is cracking so rapidly. His supporters are scattering. And the silence that once protected him is being replaced by truth. If you've been waiting for the moment to speak, this is it. Whether it's loud or quiet, public or private, raw or refined, your voice has value, and you deserve to use it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to do next, and that's powerful. Okay, those are all my slides. I want to talk to Brian directly again. Is that okay with you guys? I wonder what Courtney and Kelsey Ray think about this lawsuit. Do you guys? Yeah, what's Courtney going to do now? Hey, Raven. Okay, now, Brian, if I may, you once said the truth is undefeated, and I absolutely agree, but I'm going to add this. The truth isn't just undefeated, it's on a winning streak. You strutted on stage to Usher's More, acting like the main event. Remember the choreographed dance he did? I think that was here in Vegas at one of the events. But those lyrics, and I don't know if you guys caught this from my thumbnail, the text on that thumbnail was intentional, and it came from the song that is his stage song. So in case you didn't know that, that's where that came from. But those lyrics, I'm the monster in the mirror, the headliner, the closer, the finisher, the mirror is now cracked, Brian. And now everyone can see the monster too, in my opinion. To the people still inside the system, if you've been unsure, if you've been gaslit, if you've been waiting for someone else to validate what you felt, this is your validation. You weren't imagining things. You weren't being negative. You saw it, you felt it, and now the world sees it too. At least the people that are watching this video right now, and shout out to the replay crew as well. To anyone who enabled this and is still trying to hide, time is up. Your silence isn't loyalty, it's liability. To Herbalife and every brand platforming people like Brian, This is the culture you bought into, and now you're responsible for what comes next. And to all of you guys that are watching this live or on the replay, if you believe survivors deserve justice, do me a favor and share this video. If you know someone's still stuck in the system, whether we're talking about Pruvit, Herbal Life, or MLM as a whole, send them the stream. And if you are one of those brave people considering coming forward, we see you, we believe you, and we are not done yet. This isn't about cancel culture. It's about consequences. It's about healing, and it's about making sure no one else gets hurt under the illusion of leadership or legacy. So speak up, stand tall, and if you need a place to start here. Please, guys, share this out, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. And all of the information for the lawyer, Clarissa's lawyer, is included in the video description. Send the email, make the call, ask the questions, tell your story, and see if this is something that can help somebody else. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you again to the group of people that helped me pull all of this together. Thank you to DC for making the video graphic for me. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.